Welcome to Search Talk Live, the search engine optimization and marketing expert, Robert O'Haver, powered by the Robert Palmer family of companies.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Search Talk Live. I'm your host, Robert O'Haver, and gosh, I can't believe the results we've been getting from the show. And I mean, the people listening, it just blows my mind. I was just talking about it to Michelle, and we've got almost 6,000. We're getting close to 1,000 new followers or people following the show every month, which is incredible. And all over the world. It's just, I can't fathom it.
Quality content pays off.
Right. And by the way, my guest host, Michelle Stinson-Ross, is on with me. Michelle, how's it going?
It's going really great. It has been a crazy busy week, but I have been through a webinar for Gruen Agency already. I've taught people about auditing their social media, and now I'm happy to sit down and talk with our guest about TrustFlow and SEO and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Those of you listening to the show for the first time, we're a digital marketing podcast. We talk geek all for a whole hour. We talk about anything from social media to content marketing to SEO. We do a lot of SEO. We have people on from Google. Our guest list is just amazing. We've had the who's who of the industry on the show, and it's just been a great ride. But those of you that are interested, we are looking for sponsors. If you're marketing a tool or a platform or something that an agency or all of our listeners are either new to the industry, agencies, experts. We have a really nice community of people from all walks of social media and digital marketing. So if you're interested, you can send me an email, robert@searchtalklive.com, and you can go there. If you want, you can go to Spreaker. I sent a link on Twitter and, all the social media outlets to where you can go and actually follow the show and get more details on listen to previous episodes and all that good stuff. Michelle, did you have something you wanted to add?
Just letting folks know. So because I don't sit in the co-host chair that often, for those of you that don't know, I am the vice president of marketing and sales at Gruen Agency, and Gruen is a Minneapolis-based full-stack marketing agency. We, much like all of the disciplines that we cover here on Search Talk Live, our agency does SEO, we do paid search, we do paid and organic social, content, email, you name it. If it's marketing, we do it. And I'm happy to contribute all of that knowledge and experience to the discussion here on Search Talk Live.
Awesome. Well, let's get on to our guest. Our guest today is all the way from Paris, France. Is an expert in SEO, TrustFlow, all that good stuff, link building. He's one of the masters. But anyway, our guest today is Kevin Richards. Kevin, how's it going?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Robert. How are you? How are you guys?
We're great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so first, thanks for having me today or tonight for people in Europe. It's the afternoon in Florida, right? At the moment.
Yep.
And in Europe, it's already night. So, yeah, I am a SEO consultant. At the beginning, I was a SEO consultant. And then I created a SEO tool, a SEO solution called SEObserver. So at the very beginning, I started SEO in 2007. And the way I started was when my boss at that moment asked me if I could rebuild their website from scratch. Because they had a Flash website. Do you remember Flash? So they asked me if I could rebuild it from scratch. So this is what I did. I just followed the W3C guidelines and just had a couple of natural links from our clients and from our suppliers. They were selling organic houses, ecologic organic houses. So at the very beginning, they told me, listen, Kevin, any customer which buys through our website, I will give you 1% on the sale amount. But when they started to realize that the first customer, the first leads started to pop out like every week or every day, they say, listen, Kevin.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him again. All right, well, we're going to hold off on that. Why don't we take a break for our sponsor real quick?
Sounds like a plan.
Find the true value of your home when you log on. Homevalue.com.
Search Talk Live is sponsored by the Robert Palmer family of companies. Check out robertpalmercompanies.com for more information.
Yeah, while we're waiting on him to get back on, I wanted to mention our guy in the background here, Dave, is our sound engineer, does an amazing job. We couldn't do the show without him. I did want to give him props. Yeah, is he back on yet?
I was working at this company, and they said, look, we don't know what you did exactly, just continue doing this, because we are having new clients every day. So I started like that, and so I learned SEO because I needed so, because this company started to realize that it was way more profitable than just buying ads in the newspapers and all. So
Kevin, you did such a good job that they came back and said, hey, we need to renegotiate.
Yeah, sort of. So yeah, this is what I did, and then I kept them as a customer, and I continued doing SEO consultancy for other companies, not their competitors, of course. But yeah, this is what I did. And then like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, okay, I need a SEO tool. So I need a SEO tool which gathers information, data from Majestic, SEMrush, and other data providers. And I looked on the market. I didn't find something that would please me, so I decided to build it. So yeah, this is what happened. So first of all, please bear with me for my French-English accent. French is not my primary language, and maybe I can say words which are not easily understandable, because I'm on the fly translating from French to English. So when I don't know a word, I just say a French word with an English accent, hoping it will pass. So 80% of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't work.
You're doing fine.
Thank you very much. Yeah. For example, you have like French words which work greatly. For example, restaurant is restaurant, so it's okay. But bread is pain, Pain. So if I ask for a slice of pain, it will be a little bit awkward if I ask this to a waiter, So yeah.
Great transition into the importance of semantics in SEO. I mean, that's kind of like the big Megillah when it comes to getting a page to translate from one language to another.
Yeah, exactly. So this is my background, and I built SEObserver. It's an online solution. I built it with my bare hands.
Nice.
And okay, the goal of this solution is to enable our users to reverse engineer actually working SEO strategies. So we archive SERPs, and then we plug other data providers like Majestic for all of the backlink analysis, and then we mix it all together in order to find techniques or methods that work.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit a research and development product, competitors analysis and competitors monitoring. So this is our solution.
Gotcha. And does that translate to English and other languages as well?
It's being translated. It's 98% done, but now we have to review everything, and it's going to be launched in the US and UK and basically the world in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Oh, that's great.
We are going worldwide. So France was our...
Well, we lost him again. We got to get on to the topic, though.
Yeah. So while he's booting back up, Robert, let's talk a little bit about what TrustFlow is and what kind of data Majestic is tracking to come up with TrustFlow, because this is going to play a part in the broader conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to leave that question for our guest, though. There he is. He's back. All right.
I'm back. I'm gonna switch on my mobile phone with the Skype, because there is that Apple bug related to cutting guests every 5 minutes. It helps to be very concise, but I'm going to be back in only 1 minute. Please bear with me.
Okay. All right. So those of you who didn't hear the news, I do want to share this. The search metrics, where we talked about last week, filed bankruptcy, which is kind of normal for, not normal, but companies do it to restructure and restructure debt, and so they can move forward without having to shut down. So it's not really a bad thing, and sometimes it's a strategic move. I don't know if you've used the tool, Michelle, but it's pretty incredible.
I haven't, because usually my SEO team is on top of most of the tools, but I am familiar with them, and I did see a little bit of the news. So for those of our listeners that maybe aren't familiar with the decision to restructure, can you kind of fill them in, Robert?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I was reading something. Busted. No.
Say that again. So can you kind of fill everybody in on exactly what's the story with the bankruptcy?
I don't have all the details. All I know is that it was quite a surprise to see, but like I said, it's sometimes a way to restructure the company so that they can continue on and rebuild the business.
Right on.
So it's not going to affect any of the users, I believe, anything like that. But I don't have any of the details. I'll just leave it at that.
Gotcha. So did we get Kevin back?
I saw this story. It's really amazing, because I don't know exactly what happened, but I saw the post at TechCrunch, and it was quite frightening.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Kevin, let's get on with the topic, TrustFlow. And can you explain to our listeners what exactly TrustFlow is?
Okay, so basically you had Dixon Jones, almost the father of Majestic TrustFlow. Maybe it's his mother, the mother of Majestic TrustFlow. I don't know, because the father is Alex. So yeah. Okay, TrustFlow is a metric aiming to determine, to qualify the quality of a resource online. So basically a URL, a website, a root domain. So they have their inner algorithm, and they tried to do basically to use the same algorithm as PageRank, but with adding some quality inside, because if you only take into account basic links, then it can be gamed by automatic spam schemes. So with I think it's they are measuring how much you are far away from a core set of websites which they have manually selected. So I hope I explained it the best I could. So TrustFlow is basically a linking metric. It's completely unrelated to the presence in the SERPs. It's unrelated to traffic. So it's only based on links and incoming links, and also a little bit about the content of the website, but they didn't talk that much about this particular stuff, although I have tried to steal their formula, but they are well trained against people who want to know too much about it. So TrustFlow is basically linking metrics.
Okay. So does that also include, for the listeners, content of the site and that type of thing?
This is what we figured out, but I never had a clear yes or no from Majestic. So in my opinion, it's also based on maybe the title of the page in order to determine what is the topical TrustFlow. But I mean, I cannot speak on behalf of Majestic. So TrustFlow.
I'm going to step out on a limb here and say, I would say it is. Michelle, what do you think? I mean, because it is a part of the topic and bringing that trust, because it is the topic of the content, I mean, that brings that trust flow.
Well, now, according to Majestic and what they've written, particularly about TrustFlow, they say that they started with a large list of manually reviewed URLs. So at some point in time, this big list actually had human eyes on it, and they made some judgment calls, and they also crowdsourced that level of trust for that list. And what they found, and this is what I find interesting, according to them, what they found is that trustworthy sites tend to link to other trustworthy sites, and the linking behavior from one neighbor to a next, that trustworthy neighbors also tend to link to other trustworthy neighbors. And you get this kind of ripple effect in that if somebody trustworthy linked to somebody else trustworthy, then kind of by association, if you've also been linked by somebody that has already been deemed trustworthy, then that kind of raises your trust level a bit. But yeah, you're right. In determining trust, it comes down to what the user is going to be willing to click through and look at. But I mean, how much do I trust it is going to determine whether or not I click on it.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is indirectly, because in order to get a link, you have to have something that's link worthy, which is the content, the titles, all of that stuff. They all come together and say, hey, this guy's worth linking to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you explained it right, really well, way better than me. So TrustFlow and they added a layer with the topical TrustFlow in order to categorize the whole web, and frankly, on huge volumes, it's really impressive how accurate it is. I've never seen that level of precision in any other metric. So they on small figures, on small values, it's quite easy to gain, because if you have like a backlink from if you are an agency and you have a backlink from your website who is a doctor, maybe your website, your agency website, will be categorized as a health category, as belonging to the health category, because you only have one or two backlinks. But if you have lots and lots of backlinks, then odds are high that you are going to be categorized in the right topical TrustFlow category.
Right.
So yeah,
Granted,
it's another layer.
Yeah, granted, those links are coming from, a directory or something, but something totally off base. But yeah.
So
go ahead.
How does the TrustFlow metric then correlate to SEO rankings and thereby traffic?
Okay, so the thing is, Majestic, as Dixon explained last week, Majestic tries to be completely autarkic. They try to be self-sufficient in terms of data, so they have their very own algorithm and they evolve in their own world. So actually, normally, these two data wouldn't correlate because it's completely, normally it would be completely unrelated. So, and by the way, it's smart attitude by Majestic. They don't rely on anybody else except their servers and their algorithm.
I agree.
So, but at the end of the day, the truth is in the SERPs. You can have the highest TrustFlow you want. At the end of the day, what is important is, do I have visits from Google? Do Google loves me, and does Google love me, and does Google send me highly qualified traffic or not? So, because we wanted to compare the two metrics, the two worlds between traffic rankings and all, and Majestic, we did a study last March on a set of domains we were following. So we took approximately 100,000 domains, and we filtered out only the domains between a period of time, maybe it was 6 months. So we filtered only the domains which had a TrustFlow, a previous TrustFlow of greater than 10, and which had an increase of their TrustFlow greater than 20. So, for example, 11 to 31 in 6 months, or 15 to 35 or 40. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to focus on these domains in order to check if these domains, which had an increase in their TrustFlow, also had an increase in their keywords, in their SEO visibility. And what we found is that on this set of domains, 77% of domains which had a TrustFlow increase also had an increase in the number of keywords they were ranking for. So this is us who led the study. So it's not an effect of, for example, an increase on the number of keywords which are monitored. Like, sometimes you have people showing graphs of a number of keywords increasing, and they say, hey, look, I have more and more keywords, but it's only a matter of SEMrush updating their data set of keywords and crawling more and more keywords. So we had the whole data, and we have been able to really measure this effect. And of course, I cannot really talk about correlation, because if I wanted to be 100% accurate, I should have talked about chi-square test, or Pearson's chi-square test. But rather, we wanted to have a very easily understandable test, like statistical overrepresentation test. So do websites which have an increase in their TrustFlow also have an increase in their keywords? And the answer was yes, in 77% of our cases. And also, we wanted to check the contrary. So we wanted to check if a drop in keywords was also correlated to a drop in their TrustFlow. And we didn't notice that for several reasons. We didn't notice that because the main reason, the number one reason for a website to have a drop in their keywords, before doing the study, I was like, oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to be seeing lots of websites which are penalized or blacklisted. And the number one reason was the website was closing. They were like stopping their business. They were like, okay, this is the end of our story and all. So the number one reason is, the website had the very same TrustFlow, but they were closing. They were stopping their business. Yeah. So for this reason, we didn't see this. And also we saw a couple of dozens of websites which were penalized. So for them, the TrustFlow was the same, and yet they were not ranking anymore. And also we saw some refactoring, some rebuild of websites, migration. So the website had the same amount, the same level of incoming links, incoming referring domains, but they completely messed their migration. So they had a huge drop in their keywords. So yeah, we kind of saw a slight correlation. I cannot say how much is correlated, but we saw an overrepresentation of websites which had an increased SEO visibility in our data set of websites which had an increase in their TrustFlow.
Wow.
This is what we saw during our study.
How big of a sample were you using?
It was 100K domains.
Wow.
So yeah, kind of a big sample. And so I mean, in my opinion, TrustFlow and rankings are two different universes, which may, in some cases, highly correlate, but on other cases, uncorrelate. And I think it's good because when I do a SEO audit, the first thing I check, I mean, of course, I do an on-page check, but the second thing I check is the amount of incoming links and TrustFlow and referring domains. And because sometimes you have people who have done like everything the right way. They have great content, unique content. They have a 100% optimized website, but nobody mentions this. Nobody mentioned us, and nobody nobody mentioned them. Nobody talk about them. And it's a test, a very fresh test done by the guy from Distilled, Dijan SEO. He tweeted today. He said, "I have created a great website with great content and no single link. And here is my traffic curve, my traffic graph during the last week or the last month, and there was one visitor per day. So sometimes you do 100% good on your on-page work, but as you don't have enough juice, enough fuel in order to get this content highly ranked, unfortunately, it just doesn't rank. So in my opinion, it's very good for these two universes to be completely separated, because when I have someone who comes to me and tells me, look, I have a problem, I don't rank anywhere, I just check the basic metrics. And if I see that he doesn't have any referring domain, any TrustFlow, any backlink, I tell him, look, we have found your problem. On the contrary, if I have a guy who tells me, look, I have that amount of links, but I'm not ranking anywhere, well, in this case, I can tell him, look, maybe there is a problem with your content, or maybe you have been penalized, or maybe you have your robots.txt which disallows Google. It happens sometimes.
Or maybe you paid too much for those links.
Or maybe you shouldn't have bought this Fiverr blast on thousands of domains. Yeah, exactly. So and more, I can see quite often, because we are monitoring SERPs, and I can see often some websites which are ranking and which are just disallowed by their robots.txt. I think in English it's "we are sorry, we cannot show the excerpt or the description of this website because it has been disallowed in their robots.txt." And this is the reason why we are, in a couple of days, we will be launching a free tool for people who just want to check if they don't have disallowed a URL by mistake. So it's going to be in a couple of days.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. So with Penguin, the way it's working now is where if the link is not of quality, it's a spammy link or whatever, it's not counting those links. So I wish we had a tool that would tell us which ones those were.
I wish I had too. Actually, what I did was creating a combined view between the backlinks and the backlink acquisition and the rankings. So whenever I see a huge spike, a huge positive increase in the rankings, I just say, okay, let me just check all of the backlinks which were created before this event. But unfortunately, yes, today Penguin is supposed to be to render ineffective the bad backlinks.
Right.
Although in my opinion, this is not what I saw, but maybe I'm just mistaking. But I saw a couple of weeks ago some websites which have been maybe penalized by Penguin, maybe penalized by another thing, but it was 100% related to backlinks. So about Penguin, it's a good question. The first Penguin was mainly based upon penalizing the over and optimized anchors.
Yeah.
Now, new one, we don't really know. We don't really know what exactly it penalizes. But as John Mueller said on Twitter this week, he said you can have natural links from spammy websites, and also you can have unnatural link from legit websites.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you can also have spammy links from spammy websites, and also So it's
like he told us nothing in that tweet. It's like you can have bad tweets, you can have good tweets, and the bad tweets might work, but the good ones,
Exactly. But
thanks, John.
I won't troll him here. I only troll people, face to face. But I have so much things to say about this tweet. Yeah, it's completely unuseful.
But in Webmaster Tools or Search Console, it gives you the list of everything. Well, not everything, obviously, but even if they don't include that link, it's still in your Search Console link. And they don't give you obviously all the links, but they give you a certain sample size. But using a tool like Majestic and stuff like that, or Moz, where you can use their spam score tool.
Yeah. Totally.
To give you an idea of where those spammy links are, but
you know what? I've seen some people. Okay, they were ranking on the French version of car insurance, and they just have been losing ranks every single week. They have been, going from first rank to second and third and fifth. And I got to this place. I met with the customer, and I asked them, okay, what did you do? and they said, "Oh, we are just disavowing every single new link, every single one." I was like,
it's
"Wow!"
Just taking a hatchet approach.
yeah, a little bit, and yeah, with the, I mean, this disavowing tool is such a burden. I mean, people, some people start to completely freak out and disavow every single link because they say, "Oh, maybe I will be penalized." And I know, so yeah, the best advice, if you don't want to freak out, just disavow every single link. You will disappear from the SERPs and you will not get penalized, and you will have a clear mind.
At least you won't penalized, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, at least you will not be penalized. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I see that quite a bit. And in fact, I was in a hangout one time, and a guy says, "Yeah, I go back every week and disavow." I'm like, "What? You're crazy." But
well, yeah. And I see also people who spend hours disavowing their no-follow incoming links. From all of these auto-generated domains, which are only a list of domain names. And they are spending time disavowing it, although disavowing is basically adding a no-follow attribute on incoming links. It's basically doing this. So, yeah. At the moment, currently, we can see some crazy stuff with the backlinks and disavowing stuff and all. Yeah.
But going back to what John Mueller said in the tweet, even using a spam score to figure out what to disavow might be cutting your foot off, so to speak.
I totally agree. So, in my opinion, what I do is watching what happens on the big SERPs and, like strategic keywords like car insurance or luxury hotels or, I don't know, payday loans and all. And sometimes I see people, being close to the edge with their backlinks, and they're not penalized at all. So that's why I think I tell people, look, if you do create backlinks if you earn links in a completely legit way, you will have nothing at all to fear.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, today, modern SEO link builders, or whatever you call it, but people who are, there is a great sentence from a European guy, Fravia, and he said SEO is the way search engine spammers love to call themselves. And sometimes I agree with him, but hopefully the whole profession is not like that.
I've seen people like that, though, for sure.
Yeah, but hopefully there are still legit ways to work. But today modern SEOs are like the modern digital version of a lobbyist, because you identify influent people related to your industry. You outreach them, you convince them to link to you or to your client, and you're not allowed at all to pay them. Otherwise, this is like bribery, and a lobbyist cannot pay someone, and a SEO link builder shouldn't pay someone, otherwise it can cost you a huge penalty. So today lots of people just simply buy links with all of the associated risks. And I saw your tweet like 20 minutes before with the elephant and the tree. Yeah, exactly. And but sometimes the safest way to when you have lots of money and you don't want to buy links is just to buy websites. When you buy companies, when you buy businesses, when you buy portals, it's 100% legit to do a backlink to your company once you have bought the whole the whole business, the whole website, because that's exactly what the big brands are doing. The big brands, they have visibility on other domains, like for example, some banks. They don't want to. They want to talk about the news in their industry, and they don't want to talk about this on their domain name. So they deport. They have like another domain name on this very purpose. So they have these news and blog like this news domain name, and then they link toward their website. So it's also a way when you want to create backlinks to proceed. Yeah. And I think well, as long as you don't use over-optimized anchors, you will not be penalized when you do such things, and it's completely legit. I mean, if I cannot do a backlink from my company to another company of mine, I mean, I will not be able to do any backlink anymore. And there, unfortunately, because of all of this paranoia, now people, at least in France, they do not make any link towards anyone. They just put the full URL without any link at all.
Sure.
So, yeah, sometimes I think this paranoia sort of killed the web we had in the first place. Like, everyone wants to have inbound links, but no one wants to do external links, outgoing links.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a little bit a shame. Because...
Kevin, let me clarify something. When you said, as long as you don't put anchor text, you're okay. Now that doesn't mean go out and buy 1,000 links or 500 or 500,000 links and don't put an anchor text. That's not going to work. No.
I was saying this on your company because,
sure.
I mean, I've already saw companies which have been able to greatly penalize themselves with 100% legit websites and sort of kind of legit links, only because they always use the money keyword as an anchor text.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's
everything
a red flag.
being... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let me ask, on the study that you did you look at the anchor text across? Well, yeah. Obviously you have 100,000 sample size, so I don't know if you did that, but...
Yes. This is what we did. And what we saw was that anchor text was less and less being used, but it was still used, especially by big companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, when you have a huge authority on your domain name, I mean, one or two backlinks being having an optimized anchor text may not hurt you that much. But of course, when you are a new business, and especially if the backlinks are artificial, it may hurt you a lot. But yeah, anchor texts are still used. I mean, optimized anchor text.
I mean, out of that sample size, did you see more of a branding anchor text, or was it just?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, on big keywords. Okay, so a normal split on any query, except a couple of queries which are heavily spammy, especially in France. In France, the most spammy industry is the locksmith industry, because you're outdoor and you're outside of your home. You want to enter. It's midnight, so you just type locksmith in Paris.
Sure.
You just you go on the first link, and so there are huge amounts of money, and it's almost crooks who are ranking in the top positions, because when on the phone they tell you, okay, it's going to cost you $300 or $400, but whenever they get to your place, it's, oh, I'm sorry, I had to break the door, so it's going to be $3,000 or $4,000, and you just have nothing to say. So yeah, there are huge amounts of money, and yeah, you have a couple of queries like that which are really, really spammy in France. So, but apart from these kind of queries, a normal anchor distribution would be like maybe 40 to 50% of branding, maybe 20 to 30% of HTTP or domain name or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all of the other would be like very, very long anchors, like completely unoptimized anchor text.
Gotcha.
And sometimes you see people which are ranking really, really fast on a query because they're using maybe 15 or 20% or 30% of optimized anchor text. So they're ranking very, very fast, but maybe after a couple of weeks, they're being just shot by the Google anti-aircraft weapons. So sometimes, I mean, some people will tell you, okay, I don't care. It's only a matter of being well ranked for a couple of days or weeks, and I'll just study again and again and again. But I mean, it's like being a bank robbery. I mean, you just cannot have a sustainable business by doing this.
Yeah. And Kevin, I've seen what I've seen, and I wanted to share this, is a lot of link builders or earners really miss the boat here. Is it doesn't have to be the anchor text. It could be the co-citation around the link. And, if it's an article on pet grooming or whatever it may be, it correlates that with that link. So
I totally agree. Actually, I mean, the new anchor text is the word before or the word after your link.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I wanted to explain SEO in 5 minutes to any blogger, I would tell them, okay, try to get natural links. And if you see links that are completely unoptimized, just try to have the keyword you're targeting close to your backlink.
Yeah.
And that way it's going to be much, much safer than using the anchor text, because
absolutely, it looks more natural that way. I mean, it doesn't stand out where you have that keyword anchor text.
Yeah, totally. And the thing also is that whenever you're trying to create or to earn backlinks, you shouldn't be focusing on the crowd or on the whole people on the web. Unfortunately, you have to focus. You want to get into the heart of the website editor, or on the people who can cite your website. And it's really interesting because sometimes it has concrete influence on the strategy of a company. Like, for example, there are some companies on the flight industry, like cheap flights or private jets or stuff like that. And some actors have very, very powerful backlinks from Bitcoin websites because they accept Bitcoin as a payment, as a valid payment method. So, yeah, I had a customer who actually asked himself, okay, should I accept Bitcoin as a payment method so that I can go to this website and be listed with my competitors as being a website who as a service who accept Bitcoin? So, it can have concrete, concrete influence on the marketing, because maybe Bitcoin is also associated with with the geeks, and maybe for some people with criminal related or ransomware activities, unfortunately. So I mean, it's an undemocratic way of proceeding, because you have to target the right people. You have to be a good lobbyist. So who are the people I want a backlink from, and how can I get a backlink from them? And this is the advice I gave to a couple of customers. I was like, okay, just create a good content, and then on Facebook ads, don't target your customers, but target the website owners in order for them to see your content and in order for them to link to your content. It's promoting your content, not to your audience, but to the people which are likely to do a backlink to your website.
Gotcha. So it sounds like
that's why
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like PR has moved so far into digital marketing in general, because his example was a lobbyist, but for us in the States, press relations is, applicable here in that, we have to negotiate and develop relationships with bloggers, journalists, influencers in the same way that we used to do old school PR. PR is absolutely moved into our lives on a day-to-day basis now in digital marketing.
I agree.
Yeah, totally.
SEO, and without content writers and bloggers and social media don't exist.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like Kevin said earlier, you can have all of this great content and be frustrated that your content isn't showing up in search, all because you don't have other people talking about how great your content is. That's why it's important that once you publish a new page, write a new blog post, that you take the time and effort to share it in social media, that you send it out via email to your newsletter list, and that you're connecting it to the industry influencers that can give it a little extra push.
Yeah. And Kevin, I've got what's Gary Elias from Google. He's going to be on the show in July. And I'm going to ask him that kind of along the lines of what Mueller had said on Twitter, and how does a website know when to disavow something if you're saying some spammy links are good, some are bad?
That's a great question to ask him. Yeah, that's a great question to ask him, and let's just hear him answer this question, because it's highly this topic is really can be. I mean, if we say the wrong stuff, it can mislead lots of people, and
sure.
I just don't want to take the responsibility of this. But
it's a legitimate question.
Yeah, totally. Let's just ask Gary. Yeah, and
not to put him on the spot or anything.
I'll remind him this question.
Yeah,
I'll be on Twitter. I'll be waiting for him.
Any other questions you want to ask? Shoot them to me, and I'll. Maybe I can add them.
Yeah, perfect. So like sometimes earning backlinks is also about relationship, because backlinks are relationship between websites. Yeah. And also, I mean, in France, what I do, because it's, let's face it, France is a lovely but a small country. So whenever I want a backlink from someone, the first thing I'm going to do is trying to meet this person away from keyboard in real life, so that I can, I don't know, sometimes like taking the train 2 hours or 3 hours by train, you spend like 200 euros, approximately $220. And then you will have a great backlink from this person. Although if you try to bribe him into linking to your website, it can be much risky. So sometimes genuine and real relationships with people can help you so much.
Yeah.
Look at the contests. I know that lots of people totally disagreed with it, but there was this SEO hero contest. Mm-hmm. And actually what happened is that every single French person made a link towards the actual winner, because he had created a tool. It was like related to content analysis and all, but we were like French and being proud of a French participating in the contest. So I just told him, okay, I'm going to give you a backlink. So actually it's not 100% linking because of the awesomeness of a backlink, but it's about relationships. It's about, when you meet someone, you just want to link him sometimes. So that's an advice I would give to people who wants to have backlink. Just meet with your friends or your friends which have a website, obviously, and that's an advice I would give.
Well, and that sort of relationship actually provides currency for both parties. So you may be the person that earned the backlink that time, but because of the nature of the relationship and the fact that there's a deeper connection, there's a better conversation going on, there may be something on down the road that very same blogger writes about that you think is really brilliant and you want to link to. That relationship continues to build and mature and make something really nice happen. And truthfully, you're both benefiting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally. And also what I saw in the SERPs was that sometimes when you have a particular niche, when you focus on a group of persons, like, I don't know, when you have a restaurant which is, I don't know, vegan friendly, for example, you can go on every, for example, you can go on every vegan website, every vegan directory website and claim for your backlink, saying, hey, I'm not welcoming, but I'm providing meals that are vegan friendly. So I should have a reference or a link from your place. So sometimes people use in a clever way small communities in order to get like normal politics. Sometimes you go to, I don't know, you go to the Latinos, you go to the gays, to people like that. And sometimes like true politicians do that. They just reach out to small communities and then they just gather more and more votes like that. So it's also a way of doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with a blogger. If they have a specific topic and they do outreach to other websites that are talking about the same topic, then, creating that relationship between the two and then getting links from it, that's just a plus.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a very natural human level type plus too. It's not anything where, we're trying to game an algorithm or anything like that. It's just that it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Right.
Well, I got to say, Kevin, we are out of time, and I want to thank you for being on the show. It's been fantastic.
For me. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, and if someone wants to reach you on Twitter, how can they do that?
They can reach me through the handle 512bank. It's bank in French, so it's BANQUE. So it's a long story about this handle, but they can also just check searchtalklive.com because you will be providing me a backlink, right?
Sure. No follow. No, I'm kidding.
Well played.
Unfortunately. But I paid. Come on. No, joking.
Yeah,
okay, just put my handle, my Twitter handle in the show in the details, and
I'll do that.
Will be able to find that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very
Kevin.
much.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Michelle, I think it was a pretty good show. What do you think?
I think it was an excellent show, and I love it that he brought so much of the relationship aspect of building into the discussion.
Absolutely. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to the show. Be sure and go to searchtalklive.com. Follow us in the newsletter there, and go to Spreaker. If you like the show, hit the like button and follow us on Spreaker. We're about up to 6,000 followers now for that get notifications every time the show comes out and it's live. Michelle, do you have anything you wanted to add?
Please tune in again next week. There's going to be more good stuff.
Yeah. So, tune in next week. We have Stephen Spencer on, 3-time author, SEO author.
See, told you it was going to be good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how much time we got, Dave? All right. See you guys next week. Thanks a lot for your support. Bye-bye.
Find the true value of your home when you log on. HomeValue.com.
Search Talk Live is sponsored by the Robert Palmer family of companies. Check out robertpalmercompanies.com for more information.